Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on, I can feel it in my bones.
You have made it 100 miles to freedom. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Hi, my name is Thomas Teasley. I host a podcast show called Thomas at the Round Table, where real facts do matter. My show basically discovers undiscovered facts in history that has been covered over for a certain period of time. And tonight I'm broadcasting live in Franklin, North Carolina. And I have with me Mr. Ira Harris, a native of Franklin, North Carolina. He lived here most of his life. He was educated in the Franklin County school system. And Mr. Harris will share some of historical facts that he knows about during his time living here in Franklin. Mr. Harris, welcome to my show.
Thank you, Mr. Teasley. Glad to be here and glad to be able to tell some of what I remember and some of what people told me growing up here in Franklin County and going to, at first, the Negro school, and then later forced to go to the white school.
Tell me a little about your education and how you was brought up in the Franklin County school system.
Started at B.F. Person, Alabama, the Negro school, and that's all we knew, myself and my sister. Going there, it was a great place to be at. Because the teachers was like family. They looked out for you, made sure you got your lessons, because they knew you needed the opportunity for education, because it was a tough world being a Negro to start with, and you didn't have no education. You wouldn't have a chance, because the farm was going good now then, but later on it kind of fizzled out. So you needed some kind of education to get any kind of a job.
Right. And during your time, you saying education. Now, I know it wasn't, you say it wasn't easy for you to get an education back then, but what's some of the obstacles that you had to overcome to get your education?
The main obstacle was in 1967, when myself and a classmate, we was forced to leave the Negro school and start attending the white school. And it wasn't for the reason you might think. It wasn't for integration. It was for these representatives of the school board was trying to prove that Negroes were inferior to whites to end the desegregation effort. And I don't know why, but they chose us for some reason to do that. Might have been because we were pretty good students, both had aspirations of going to college.
Right. So, would you say that, did that deter your faith any about wanting to get your education, knowing that this was happening to you and some of the black people here in the school?
It did a whole lot, but I tried to stick to it because they weren't teaching us at the white school. Okay, what they wanted us to do was take these tests to send to HEW in Washington, saying that we could, but myself and a classmate, we were pretty sharp, but we could still pass the test even though we didn't have no teaching on it.
Right. Okay. So y'all did have some kind of education background during this time?
Yes, hey, some, but could have got more because grades dropped. Grades dropped. That ended opportunity to get scholarship for college.
So, okay, go ahead.
And that was my goal and my parents' and teachers' goal at the Negro school. So you get, even though you can't afford to go, if you get these scholarships, you can go anyway. Because my parents wanted me to go and one day take over the family farm. But then we had 112-acre farm and vegetable business. So they will look forward to me taking it over sometime in the future.
Right.
But it never happened like that.
Oh, okay. So, even though it didn't happen, and you said that, you know, your education, you wanted something better.
Mm-hmm.
So, was it anything that you said had put in your mind that, yeah, I'm going to be determined, I'm going to do this, that made you want to continue to do your education instead of going to work?
Right. I was going to stick with it because I said maybe in the future God will make a way for me to do something else as far as college.
Mm-hmm.
So I stuck it out
Mm-hmm.
because that first year, 67, 68 school year, just two of us there. But the next school year was total desegregation. So all our friends from the person came over, and we went back to, it still wasn't normal, but it was better than it was. Teachers were teaching us, and more or less, I would say using us, because they were trying to put us between the new Negro students. They said, well, Ira knows this, Henry knows that, you know.
Mm-hmm. So y'all basically like a teacher for them, the new ones that was coming over.
Right.
Okay.
Because more or less the white teachers put on the show because they didn't want to be bothered with none of us.
Mm-hmm.
So they using us
Right.
to actually do their work.
Right. Okay. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's some good facts that we certainly can use down in the history development, because, like I say, it's a lot of history here in this town, and a lot of people, you know, want to share their history.
Right.
But we're going to take a break, and on the flip side, we're going to come back and we're going to see about how it was for you to get to school, your transportation and stuff. And we'll do that when we come back.
Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my